Right, everybody, just a quick one for Plymouth Fenns. Young lad, Plymouth Fenns, and Dopey dog. We both got one of these little kits from Mad Dog, and he's asked for a couple of tips. I thought that was a divider. These are brilliant little kits. Same for the seam rod and same striker. If you watch your video back, Plymouth Fenns, right, I don't know your first name, right? If you watch your video back, you were getting sparks, right? The idea, right, basically is, this is a striker, you're striking it but gingerly, so very gently striking it. It's difficult to do in front of the camera as well. Right, you just glancing blows, that's all you're doing. Your strike will be new. Just get a bit of Flint, right, and just practice. Because you were there, you were making sparks, that's it. And you just play with it, you know what I mean? Some people like to have the Flint at an acute angle. Some do it that way, right? Just try to remember your Flint's going to be sharp. So try to keep your fingers away from the Flint. But you're just trying to basically just scrape that edge very lightly along that Flint. Right, but you were doing it. You were doing it. It's like everything, you just practice. I think your striker will work a bit better after a while. You know what I mean? It sort of like beds in, if you like, as Angie will say. You know, you get little, right? Another thing, you were using Amadou, right? Amadou doesn't take a spark as readily as chalk cloth, right? Amadou's good for extension, right? I'll tell you what I do sometimes is I get the chalk cloth going, yeah? Get my chalk cloth going, consolidate that, then put it into the Amadou. Get the Amadou going, goes into your bird's nest, right? I do it all the time, Plymouth Fenns. Especially with this new one here. Don't know if you've got to be able to make that out. But I've been chopping and chopping and chopping away. Because I'm convinced that they work better after a while. Like your feather seam rod will work better after a while. Okay, just a couple of tips. I'm in the bedroom, right, but that's the hardest bit to do, is to get the sparks going, right? And you were there. I promise you, mate, you were there. You were doing it. If you'd had a bit of chalk cloth on there, I reckon you would have got an ember. Enjoy it, you know what I mean? Don't get frustrated about it. It's not going to work first time. Nobody can do that first time. There's a lot going on. You know what I mean? If somebody says, oh, lighting a fire, come on, it's not difficult, it's not rocket science, it's not far off, is it? You know? Everything starts with one of them. So, I do it. You don't necessarily have to go through your chalk cloth, although it is nice light and chalk cloth, right? It is. So, get yourself some chalk cloth and just sit and practice. Sit and practice. And you'll get it. It's very, you're not hitting it, you know what I mean? You're just literally just trying to see when you get it right, you get it right. Outdoors and all, right? The wind will blow, the sparks aren't very hot, you know what I mean? They're not white hot like your feather seam rod. They're not as hot, right? So if the wind blows, they can dull it, they can blow them off. Atmospheric conditions could be damp. It's just every day is different, you know what I mean? But just get that action, get used to doing it, and it doesn't matter how long it takes you. It doesn't matter how long it takes you, right? But just little suggestions. Practice is everything. This is one of those things that you can't learn out of a book, right? Or watch somebody else doing it. You've got to get your hands on, and you know, you're not hitting it. That's the best thing I can say. Basically, you're not hitting it. Is you're just shaving off tiny little bits. It's the steel that makes the sparks, not the flint. And you're taking off tiny little shavings of that, and that ignites in the air. Oxidization, is it called? Or is that rust? Can't remember the word of it, but that's what's going on. There's a lot going on, and you were there, man. You had sparks. I reckon if you hadn't have used Armadoo and you used chalk cloth, you would have had that. Like I say, enjoy it. Don't get frustrated. You know, if you're getting a bit wound up with it, put it down, go off, do something else, come back and try it again. You know, chalk cloth I like more regularly than Armadoo. That's just a given. It just does that. Practice, enjoy it, and just don't get, like I said, just nice sharp edges. Get that bit right. You know you're striking. Just practice doing that, and you're doing yourself a favour because you're helping you strike at the same time. So, and then crack on. And something else, when you get down to using like the chalk cloth and that, don't be tight. Don't be using a tiny little bit. Give yourself a chance. Right? Remember what we're trying to do. We're trying to catch a tiny little spark. Shaved off that onto there, right? And the tiniest of sparks. Give yourself a nice big area. Try to get a rough edge. You know, like on your Armadoo, if because you can't get a spark on Armadoo, but if you're going to do it, you tear the Armadoo a bit and you still fluff it up at the end. It's all about the prep, firework, I think. It's all the preparation. Give yourself a chance, you know. See, a bit like that. I'll use this white cloth here so you can see. If I was using, say, this bit of flint here, right? I'll do it outside for you at one stage. Just get this about the right size. Yeah, about a 2-inch square. I would have a 2-inch square on there. What I generally do is the torn edge. I have just slightly off that there. Slightly off the flint. So all this is like fluffed up bit, you know what I mean? Because your sparks, when you're striking down, nearly caught right there. You jump, your sparks are going back up. So prep, practice, preparation. Don't get frustrated. It's all fun. It's just all fun and learning. It's the best way to learn, isn't it? With a giggle and a laugh. No such thing as a failure. No such thing as failing. To fail is not to try at all. That's failing, in it. You know what I mean? So, that's what I do. And it is one of my favourite ways of doing it like this. And I still sit there. I love it. I still think it's an amazing thing. Better than the television. Really is. Really is. And again, pleasure shared, isn't it? You know what I mean? We're lucky lads, both got one. You're right, last years and years and years. There's something else about my dog, right? You know, he does know what he's talking about. This bit of steel here, you mentioned it, Plymouth Fenns. You could pass it on down your families and their families. That's going to last a hell of a lot longer than any fella seeing rod, any boxing matches. You know, how long would it take you to wear that down to nothing? just my point on just my view on char cloth and charred materials. Char cloth's alright for around the town and that, and villages and stuff, but back in the day, right, the bits of cloth that you charred, it would have been used for clothing, cleaning, toilet, wiping your backside, right down to the very last thing would be charred. The men in the field would be charring natural stuff, natural tinders, right? And then what you do is you reverse the roll. You strike the flint. You strike the striker with the flint to try to get the flints to go down into your tin boxing. Okay. You should always think about your next fire, your first fire and your last fire. Please. There's that 3 again. Think about the fire that you're going to make. You've got to think about the fire that you're making, and then think about your next fire down the line. Okay? That's when something like a flint and steel, or stone and steel, that lasts you forever. It just will. Common practice to have 2 of these also in your kit. I'm not saying 2 like this, but two strikers. Right? Little tips. Practice makes perfect. You were there, man. I promise you, mate. You look back on that video, you were getting sparks. That is the hardest bit. You just get it right. You're not attacking it. You're just trying to glance it off. Char cloth. Catch a spark much more ready than the hammer do. Either way, either one that you use, pep it up a little bit. Just fluff it up as much as you can. Same as I get the torn edges to the working edge. That's what I do. That's what I do. Okay? Because there's no right or wrong way to do it, mate. It's the way you do it. Get yourself comfortable. But I think you'll find after a while, once you've been using your steel, it'll work a bit better for you, because you get everything right, then you get it's muscle memory. Do you know what I mean? When straight up, mate, I just sit and do it all the time. Quick little mentions for Plymouth Fenns, and then that's for Dopey dog. And armchair survivor outdoors, is it? Russ and Evan. Enjoy it, man.